feminine dignity, promising future, or enabling sections the AAP is committed to offer to us? That remains a yaksh prashna. Another aspect to this is that in December 2024, as I was talking about the freebies, the AAP government has also launched the Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana. Although the governments in the Delhi circles, they themselves have raised questions about viability of it. I was just reading a report in the Indian Express wherein it is said that the report, the initiative, the Yojana is said to be risky for women, and there is a fear that they may give up their positions at the workplace. So, even such type of lucrative, say, slogans and incentives and fake promises, what credence do they have when the experiences in other states like Punjab, where the AAP has been in power for long, and the promises were made and they remain unfulfilled. So what do they have to offer to the women in Delhi? That again is another glaring question. And most importantly, when the women, they have to bear assaults and threats on, say, their physical well-being, their psychological, and their financial and emotional selves, then leaving them more vulnerable than before, what type of Samman is being created for them? Again, that remains really a riddle. And even the current CM, she herself has not been able to empathize with the women voters, sans any political motivations. So here the dignity of a woman, as I said, that it is about mapping the dignity of women under the AAP regime, that remains really, really very vulnerable. The ground realities of the seemingly alluring promises, their fake propaganda, the insecure environs prevailing in the state, these all expose the facade that has been created by the AAP's apex leadership. Forget about some better future, Sashakt Samaj and Bhavishya. Even the current present, it appears to be quite grim under layers of their unethical, callous, insensitive, unsafe, and exclusivist discriminatory administration. Now, why do I say discriminatory or exclusivist? So now I move on to my second point, that is the bus rides that the AAP hail on their website. So now we all know that since August 2019, AAP has been offering the free bus rides under the pink ticket scheme. However, the city's public transport system, it is another glaring instance of the unsafe scenario, and which is equally humiliating for the women bus commuters, wherein they endure not just physical but psychological and emotional challenges as well. Okay, so a protest was staged by the Power the Pedal community in October 23, wherein voice was raised for equality and safety for women commuters in the public transports, especially the buses. Another survey report, Halt the Women Bus Users in Delhi, which was conducted by NGO Greenpeace India. It reported an astounding 82% of the surveyed women bus commuters who shared instances of the buses not stopping at the designated stops, while 52% of the surveyors, respondents, they shared their experiences of either facing discriminations or derogatory remarks just because of their free rider status. So you have a scheme, and then the beneficiaries of that scheme, they are relegated to bear all types of humiliations that nullifies the intentions and the execution of that scheme. Then another aspect to this is that in 2015, the AAP had claimed the initiative of introducing the task force of the bus marshals as the civil defense volunteers to, revitalize Delhi's safety landscape for women in public transport. And therein again, Kejriwal had made a very, very boisterous claim when he announced that starting tomorrow, and every bus in Delhi will have a bus marshal to safeguard the women. Now again, there is a paradox, or rather there is a travesty, because the guardians themselves, they have become, in the due course of time, hapless victims. How that has happened? See, since April 23, the marshals, they they were not getting their salaries, and in October 23, the scheme had to be rolled back. So that is another example of broken promises, hypocrisy, and political opportunism. Why do I say opportunism? Because on the one hand, AAP alleged that the scheme is being rolled back because the central government is not providing money for that, for these marshals' salaries. But it was offering them to perform their services for the pollution control drive. So if it has money to provide to them under the pollution control drive, then why can't it pay them for their services as bus marshals themselves? And then when the elections were announced, then suddenly what we hear is that 10,000 marshals will be reinstated on the buses to safeguard the women. So if this is not opportunism, then what else we define opportunism as? So the politicization of critical issues as the women's safety, that we know since 2012 how critical the scenario was since the Nirbhaya case. And here again brings me back to an initiative by the Delhi High Court, which had raised a query in 23 itself, December 23, because even after a decade of the Nirbhaya case, the situation wasn't much improved. The measures which had been promised, they were not effectively executed. So it required a status report, right? So on the one hand, the scenario is like this, and on the other, it shows that much efforts have been taken to safeguard the women's safety, even on the public transports. So that is another this thing. So what we find is that the ground realities are very different from what the projections is. In October 24, now it is as late as October 24 that I'm citing, there is a report by the Greenpeace India, Riding the Justice Route, wherein it is stated that almost 75% of women in Delhi, they feel unsafe after dark to travel in DTC buses, over issues of harassment, poor lighting, and erratic bus schedules. Now this poor lighting is again very important because एक मुख्यमंत्री स्ट्रीट लाइट योजना भी इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था और उसमें क्लेम किया गया कि कितना दिल्ली का जो है इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं, सीसीटीवी कैमरा लग रहे हैं, बट द रिपोर्ट इन October 24 it narrates the ground status, what has been the implementation of that ambitious scheme like. And it is not just the commuters who are unsafe or who are vulnerable, even the female employees in these buses, they all have also faced the brunt of insecure work conditions and environments. In November 24, this is again in our own recent times, we see that DTC's women employees, they staged a protest at the all-women Sakhi bus depot in Sarojini Nagar. And what were the demands? Parity of pay. This is, again, when I in the beginning said that they have exclusivist or discriminatory policies. So parity of pay is one of their demands, then job regularization and improved work conditions. So all in all, there is no doubt about the, say, anti-women and gender discriminatory nature of the AAP's policies. And situation doesn't change much despite being a woman CM at the helm of the affairs. And the third point over which my paper has been focused is on some statistical data which I have procured from the website of National Commission for Women and the National Crime Report Bureau, so Crime Records Bureau, NCRB. And the conclusion that comes out, because I won't be discussing all the facts and figures which I have been able to jot down, but as per the NCW report of 2023, almost 8.4% cases totaling to some 2,411 complaints, they were for Delhi, whereby it could retain its consistent second position in the list of top 10 states with the highest number of complaints. Okay, another 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm done. In 2021, Delhi registered the highest number of rape cases, and as per the NCRB records, a total of 13 states and union territories which recorded crime rate higher than the national average of 66.4. Delhi was again at the top of the list with a rate of 144.4%. And then similar type of inferences can be drawn from the NCW data, wherein we see that as per the records available for 22-23, the number of complaints received was 28-22, and at the beginning of the regime, that is the 2014-15 duration, the reports were 2867. So you can see that beginning is 2867, and till the availability of the records is 2822. So nothing much has changed even after 10 years of its protective umbrella and women-friendly administration. So to conclude, I would say that women, they do have a substantial say in determining the nuclei of power for administering Delhi. And now the women are better equipped. They have access to higher education. They have access to decision-making mechanism as well. Media exposure is very much there. So the competence to see through the shallowness of the promises that have been made, that have not been fulfilled, and the fake propaganda and the grassroots level realities, all this has to be taken into account. And the last statement that I would make before I conclude is that the way the incumbent CM sits on a chair next to the chair of the former CM, that again reveals a lot about the mentality of subservience for women, which is nurtured and which is cultivated in the AAP ranks and folds. So that is all on my part.